that Colorado is going to retire both Travis Hunter's jersey and Shedeur Sanders jersey this Saturday, the spring game. Okay? And you talk about adding that to a busy Saturday. You're going to have the Nuggets going at 1:30. I think what is that? 2:30, something like that on ESPN2, I want to say.
Something around there.
So it's kind of like packed in there to a really busy day, and we're hearing the Avs are probably going to go on Saturday night. So, okay. There's a lot to this. So they're going to join 4 other Colorado players, 4 total in the history of the program to have their numbers retired.
Colorado has been playing football for a very long time, Zach. And there has only been 4 jerseys in the history that get that opportunity to be retired. Now 6 because of what's getting ready to happen.
Which is, I mean, going from 4 to 6 after this long is I mean, that's rapid. That's 50% more, or a 50% addition, like just on a Saturday, announced on a Monday.
Yeah,
and here we go.
But going from 4 to 6 with the names we're getting ready to talk about right now, that's going to be the issue. It'd be different if you're going from 4 to 6 with a couple other players that have been waiting. I don't think none of us would have an issue. Or we wouldn't even really necessarily talk about it as much. We would just say, oh, they're getting ready to start retiring some other people's jersey numbers. It's the names that we're getting ready to talk about that everybody's up in arms about.
Yeah. Well, so here are the 4, okay? Rashaan Salam, all right, his number 19.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. That was retired in 2017.
Yeah.
All right. Rashaan Salam, Heisman Trophy winner, waited 23 years.
Yes.
For his jersey to get retired. Okay?
And for him to pass.
Right.
You know?
Right. Byron White, his number 24. Byron White played like in the 1930s.
Wizard White. That was his nickname. Wizard White.
Right? So that's, again, really long time ago, 1930s. Talking about we're getting up on 100 years from the time that Byron White was playing. You have Joe Romig, his number 67. He played in the 60s. And Bobby Anderson, his number 11, he played in the late 60s. That's it. That's the list. I want to hear from you. Then I'll share kind of how I feel about it. But you, like when I think of Colorado football, the first couple names that come in my head, you're like in the first wave of when I think of the black and gold.
Yeah.
Along with Mike Pritchard, Alfred Williams, Darian Hagan, yourself, those guys.
But why? Why do you feel that? Because I'm in the now, right? I'm fresh. That everybody is watching me and has watched me like the now. Not a lot of people my age can talk about Darian Hagan, can talk about Alfred Williams because we were too young.
Sure.
You know, and that's the issue right there. Like I might even hesitate, Zach. Like some people say, hey, Phil, you should be in there. No, not right now. There's a hierarchy to this, Zach. There are players, legends, before me that I'm standing on their shoulders. I'm standing on them. I was looking up to them. When I got to that school, we got to learn about the culture, the history. And it's like, okay, you can be like them if you put the work in. You can be like Eric Bieniemy and be the leading rusher in Colorado if you put the work in. You can be like Darian Hagan and win a national championship if you put the work in. And yet these players that we talk about, these players that have pretty much led us and set a standard, they don't even have their jerseys retired, Zach.
Correct.
You don't have Darian Hagan's jersey retired, who's number 3. You don't have Eric Bieniemy's number retired, who's number 1. Like, you don't have Alfred Williams, Big Al's jersey retired, and they won national championships. Why all of a sudden are we starting now? Why are we skipping them? I'm not saying, Zach, that Travis Hunter or even Shedeur Sanders shouldn't have their jerseys retired because I know, one, Travis Hunter is going to get his jersey retired. The man is just different. But what's the rush? Why are we skipping people that earned the right to have that moment, that sat there and worked their ass off to get to this moment, that had rough times, growing up, finding a way to get a scholarship to get to this moment? And yet we want to forget about them? That's an issue. You don't erase history. You can add on to it, but you don't ever erase it. You got to remember the good and the bad, because it creates for later on, it ends up being more of, okay, this is history, but we're moving in different directions. But you have to have a standard. And Big Al, Darian Hagan, people like that.
Cordell Stewart,
they were the standard. Matt Russell, 2-time All-American.
Yeah, he was a Butkus Award winner.
So
was Alfred, by the way.
Yes. They were the standard. Someone even like Daniel Graham, who has all the records as a tight end, who won the Mackey Award. Those are the standards. And yet you don't hear their numbers being retired. That's my issue. Zach.
Well, it's an incredibly fair take, Phil. And I was really curious what your mindset was going to be on this. We don't talk about this stuff before the show.
And I'm not disappointed. I'm not mad at Deion. I'm disappointed in the administration, and even right now, like with Rick George. Why? Why not give some of these other players that opportunity too? That's who I'm disappointed in right now.
How many CU alum have you talked to? What's the general vibe?
At least 20 of them. Texting, calling throughout the whole entire night.
Yeah.
Last night.
What's the general vibe?
Upset. Very upset. They don't know what to make of this. Some of them are like, it's a joke. It's a more of a like, this was supposed to be about the Buffaloes. And and like I said before, it's a standard, Zach. And now it's just like you're dividing all of us. We're supposed to be able to go to the games and feel welcome and excited to be there. And now you have a bunch of these players that probably don't want to go back there because they've earned the right to have their name up there, retired too, so that their kids can say that was daddy. And that may not happen for them now. That's the bull crap. Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders are great players. And at some point, they can have their jersey numbers put up there. But still, respect these players that we are sitting here praising about, that set a standard for us. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, it's not like CU doesn't have, like, we know the program fell on really hard times here leading up to the Deion experience, but it's not like there's not real history to draw from.
You sure about it? Because it makes it feel like there's not no history there.
Well, Phil, I mean.
That's why I said, like, you can't erase history.
Well.
There was a first Heisman winner here. You've had multiple players that took hardware home, that were in the NFL for 12-plus years. Acknowledge them, too. That's all I'm saying. Acknowledge them. Zach, blood, sweat, and tears, man. I get upset, and I really want to cuss. I really do, but I know I'll get in trouble. I'll get a spanking by Amanda.
Well, we're going to dump it. No one's going to hear it. So, yeah, don't cuss.
But knowing how hard it is to play this sport, knowing how hard it is to wake up every morning and go at it, being banged up, being hurt, and knowing that you got to go back at it and do it again. And if you're the lucky one to have a successful career, you want to be acknowledged by that. That's all people want. They want a little bit of acknowledgement that they mean something, that Darian Hagan means something, that Deion Graham means something, that Matt Russell means something, that Deion Figures means something, because they mean something. That's what this is about.
Well, clearly, this comes from a place of passion for the university. From you.
Yeah.
And you love that program. And so many people that you're naming right now see you as a part of their own identity, like how they view themselves, how they look in the mirror. So it doesn't, and I don't want to start any trouble here. But like in general, in the last 2 years, again, in general, the alumni that you talk to, are affiliated with, you see out and about in town, up in Boulder, what have you?
The alumni that I have talked to majority of them, they feel like they're not a part of Colorado.
Yeah.
Like, there's
just
no home. There's no welcoming, like, map for them to, hey, like, you can be there, but, like, you're just there. You're just another person. But that can't be when that person fought on that football field, bled on that football field, cried on that football field. You can't treat them like they're just a regular person, because they're not just a regular person. They mean something.
Does it feel like in some ways that, like, CU history, the current operation, like CU history started 2 years ago in some ways?
Yeah, in some ways, like, it feels like that. But what Coach Prime has done, he's done a great job. And that's why this is not on Coach Prime. This is on, like, the administration. But this is on people like that, Zach. Why? Like,
it feels like, Phil, I'm just going to say it feels like he's got the university by the balls, because he's brought so much money, so much attention, brand new contract, one of the highest paid, and it's like he is the king of a kingdom, and what the king says goes. And it feels like that to a certain degree, like, in exchange for all the benefit.
Because of money, so what, do you sell your soul for money? Because that's what it sounds like then. You can have all the money in the world, guys. You can. That doesn't mean that you're a happy person. That doesn't mean that you're not going through things. You can still hold your ground if you believe in something. Nobody's saying that Coach Prime isn't the king of the castle. But maybe having that conversation saying, hey, if we're going to do this, maybe we should go down the line. Maybe we should acknowledge the Darian Hagens, the Eric Bieniemys, the Big Al's, the Matt Russells, the Cordell Stewarts, the Deion Figures, the Daniel Grahams. I feel like I could sit here and name 77 more players. Like, maybe we should acknowledge that, sit down and acknowledge them as well. Don't just microwave a situation like you say and just put two kids in there, because they're kids still, when they're not even out of school yet. We know Travis is going to be retired. The man is just amazing, truly. And Shedeur Sanders, he's done a lot here for this program in 2 years. But so has these players that I just listed.
For sure. I wanted to just give you that space here.
Yeah.
And I'll share how I feel about it. My opinion about this subject is super secondary, or whatever's after secondary, like not even in the backseat, in the trunk. But we're doing the show together, so I'll share how I feel about it. It's just the timing. It's the timing of it. It feels forced. All right. And to be quite honest with you, Shedeur Sanders, I believe Shedeur Sanders was the best quarterback in college football this past year. Shedeur Sanders, if you wanted to put his name up on the facade, like you could do that, because that's different than retiring numbers. There's names up on the facade that don't have their jersey retired.
Well, no, those names, you have to be a consensus All-American to be up there. You have to be an All-American
to get your name on the facade.
Yes.
So like Big Alfred Williams' name's up there, but his jersey's not retired.
Exactly. His name's up there because he's an All-American, and everybody agreed. The AP, everybody agreed that he's All-American. If one person doesn't agree, you can't be put up there. So Shedeur Sanders can't be put up there because
he was not an AP first-team All-American. He was first-team All-American in several different outlets list.
A consensus All-American. That's what they call it.
I mean, look, I got to be honest. I just think the timing is a little bit forced. If you wanted to do it with Travis, that's one thing. Travis won the Heisman Trophy. Travis is in his own stratosphere with just one other person. Quite frankly, and I don't know if you remember me saying this, like 6 months ago, or it wasn't 6 months ago, a few months ago, saying like, if this guy wins the Heisman Trophy, I believe that if your program has a Heisman Trophy winner, you could get a statue. I think there could be 2 statues up in Boulder, one of Rashaan Salam and one of Travis Hunter. Like, that's what type of rarefied air that I hold those guys in. But when you put Shedeur, who is a damn good quarterback, like I'm not saying he's not, but when you put him side by side with Travis, during the semester while they're still in school, one, the timing just stinks for all the legends that because it's the definition of just skipping a line.
That's it. Just like, it's skipping the line, Zach.
But it also waters it down for Travis. Because as good as Shedeur has been, Travis and Shedeur are not the same. We've never seen anything like Travis Hunter in the history of college football. He should have his own dedicated day in the sun. And if you wanted to do it this weekend, would it be a little rushed even for Travis? I would still say probably yes.
And what's the rush? Truly, like doing something like this is for you as you get older. And you have the kids, Zach, and they're like, hey, we are going to acknowledge you. Like, what's the rush? Patrick Mahomes' jersey isn't retired yet.
No.
Cam Newton's jersey isn't retired.
Tim Tebow's is not retired.
Tim Tebow's not retired, and we know that they're going to be.
Yeah.
But there's no rush.
This is the definition of rushing it. And the fact that you're going to I don't like, because I have so much respect for all those legends that you sort of named. Like, you have to bend the knee to those guys. And if none of those guys have even this has happened 4 times in the history of a 100-year-old program. Yeah. Man,
and then it's like you put it out there at 5 o'clock saying it's going to be done during a spring game when the numbers of the tickets are down. Like,
I did see that.
It just doesn't. It to me, it's like, why? Why all of a sudden?
I mean, Phil, the answer to the question why is because Deion is Shedeur's dad. There's no other scenario. And as good as I think Shedeur is, and I think he's damn good, I think he's the best quarterback in this class. I think he's the best quarterback this past year in the country over everyone.
It's not Shedeur. Shedeur is a great football player.
But also, Shedeur's record at CU is like 10-7.
Yeah,
as a starter. I think 13-12 as a team in the Deion era.
Didn't go to a Big 12 championship. Didn't win one.
No.
Didn't get into the playoffs. Like, you still need a resume. You need a winning resume at that.
Went to a bowl game and got shellacked.
Yeah.
I mean, so, like, as good as I think Shedeur is and was the last 2 years, but from a merit standpoint, and now let me circle back and just be clear. Shedeur, do you think Shedeur is the best quarterback in the history of CU?
Yeah, he has broken every record there is.
Yep, all the single-season records, yards, touchdowns, most consecutive games. I read this morning somewhere that he has like 100 school records. So my problem is not actually, like, if you wanted to put Shedeur Sanders and retire his number, if you really wanted to do that.
Records are meant to be broken, though, Zach.
Sure.
Records are meant to be broken. But before there was a Shedeur Sanders breaking records, Sefo Luafau was breaking records. Before there was Phillip, Lindsay breaking records, Eric Bieniemy had all the records. Records are meant to be broken, but there's certain things that some of these players have that should be getting these awards or this acknowledgement of retiring their jersey that someone like me that doesn't have. Someone like Eric Bieniemy is still holding a record. Someone like Eric Bieniemy was third in the Heisman race.
Right.
Someone like Eric Bieniemy won a lot of games. Somebody like Eric Bieniemy won a national championship. That's something I can't say I did. That's the difference. Shedeur Sanders can't say he went 20-0-1 like Darian Hagan and win a national championship. Shedeur Sanders is a great quarterback, and it was a great year this year. But they didn't go to the Big 12 championship.
No.
And they went to a bowl game and got smacked. Just like we went to a Pac-12 championship and got smacked. We went to our bowl game and got smacked.
But you guys were in the championship game.
There.
You were ranked 8th in the country.
Yeah.
That's not what this year was, or these past 2 years.
It's just, to me, it's more just about a resume. Travis Hunter has the resume. Other than the wins, he has the resume. Like, he is going in. There is no argument.
Yeah.
I just think it's a little rush with Travis Hunter. With Shedeur Sanders, it's like, is it truly something that is supposed to happen, or is it just because it's your dad?
I mean,
come on.
I mean, Phil.
At some point,
just about everyone who I have heard comment on this, just about not everyone, but I'd say 2/3 of the people that I have heard comment on this, especially the ones who are not directly affiliated with, I was going to say affiliated with CU, but those might be the people who are most passionate and most disappointed about this decision.
It's just the timing.
I think it's just too forced. It's just too forced.
Exactly. It's the timing. Timing is everything. If they wait their turn and this happens, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people upset like they are now. But it's like there's just people waiting. Like there's some people that are waiting for the Hall of Fame right now. And it's like you see somebody else get in that probably shouldn't get in just yet.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Mike Shanny, right?
I mean, he's just sitting there waiting. he's done his time of waiting. Why is he not in there?
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Dave Logan.
Dave Logan, another one. Like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Man, oh man. And then there's this perspective. Someone says, guys, it's perspective marketing. You're both too married to the past. The buffalo was extinct. Like a witch doctor, he revived it from the dead, and recruits don't know these old heads. But 4- and 5-star recruits know Travis and Shedeur. It's a new world.
But they're going to know Travis and Shedeur. Travis is a Heisman winner. Shedeur is doing his thing. Like, you could put a bunch of pictures in there about Travis and Shedeur. Like, Alabama does it all the time. They have so many talented players going in and out of that business. They don't retire.
No, they
jerseys.
don't. They don't.
There's a standard there. You come here, you're supposed to be a great player, and you're supposed to get drafted.
Is this? Do you think the most ruffled you've been in the Deion era?
I just feel like it's just frustrating to see these old players hurt. You know, Zach, it's like seeing these old players that used to come around and they don't anymore, and they're hurt. It's like talking to one of the guys, and they're 60 years old, and they're crying. Like, that's how much it meant to them. That they thought that at some point they would have the opportunity to have their jersey retired. But it seems like people just forget about them.
It doesn't seem Deion cares that much, to be quite honest with you, Phil.
You know, and Deion has a job to do.
Sure.
You know, it's his world. Up there, it's his world. He can do whatever he wants. But it's not just about Deion. What about the other people that have been there?
Yeah.
Like, when are they going to step up and speak up and say, hey, like, this university was also built around other players too.
Yeah.
Can we acknowledge them? I don't expect Deion. Deion's doing his job. What about the other people?
The administration. But what are you going to do? Tell Deion no? Like, you put yourself in this position with Deion that what he says goes. He's the highest paid employee at that university, probably times 6, 7. So
if you say no, now what? Like, at some point, something's going to have to give, and somebody's going to have to say no, right?
Eventually to something.
That's life.
Yeah.
We get told no all the time.
Sure.
Are we going to sit there and be like, stump our feet like we're our kids? You move on. Somebody's going to have to at least say something to be like, hey, let's acknowledge some of these former players, just like we are with these new players.
Well, honestly, 4 total retired numbers is probably not enough considering the history of the program. And then, so you're mashing together two things, like a really, really, really small amount of retired numbers considering the history, and then you're putting 2, and these kids are still going to the school.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if they're actually going to school, but like it's the
they're not in the NFL
it's the
yet.
spring semester.
Yeah.
And they're going in. I understand the frustration. Dante, you got something on your mind here you want to share here?
I do. So I don't feel like it's Deion's fault that for the last 20 years no one got inducted.
Sure.
Like, there was no reason. You guys are saying, like, they're waiting in line. What are they waiting in line for? Like, they had all the time in the world to do it the last 20, 30, 40 years.
For sure. But
for
then
these players that you're talking about.
Is, like, why now? Why do they accept it now?
Well, maybe those players you're talking about were just never going to have their jersey retired. Because it feels like they had all this time to do it if they wanted to.
Well, I do think CU should have added some more of these legends to that list. But at the same time, I understand how uncomfortable it's making a bunch of the alumni base feel, considering a lot of the greatness that has walked through that door, especially if you don't think that Shedeur, is well, again, how much is it about Shedeur getting his number retired, and how much is it about the timing of Shedeur getting his number retired?
I think it has to come down to the timing more than Shedeur getting his number retired. To me, it's the timing. Like, who should get their number retired first, Shedeur or Travis? They are not a package deal. When they go into the draft, it's not going to be, hey, we're drafting Shedeur and Travis at the same time. Like, Travis has done a lot more with Shedeur because he plays both sides of the ball. He was Shedeur's receiver and turned around to play defense for the Buffs.
He was all Big 12 on both sides of the ball.
So that's why nobody has pushback on Travis Hunter. It's just the timing.
Unanimous first-team All-American. Yeah. Man, what a curveball of a story. What a curveball of a story.